remarkable of all of you. Yeah, Daffy Duck.
Yep, we are ranking Daffy Ducks throughout the years. We have so many voices to rank.
All right then. Of course, going with the OG Mel Blanc.
Yeah, baby.
And what else can you say about Mel Blanc? I mean, the guy was a god of these voices. Daffy was like one of his funniest characters, especially his lunatic, moments. His funny moments, or just anything with Daffy for that matter.
One in particular, okay, there might shorts that I liked Daffy in, like Duck and Muck, where this mysterious artist kept dicking with him, and also Robin Hood Duck. I just love that episode. And it made me laugh so hard because he was singing and he said about tripping. And he actually tripped down the hill and made me die laughing.
Awesome.
And also, have you ever heard of Quackbusters?
I believe so, maybe, but if you could explain.
Well, in one clip, I don't remember what the episode's called, but Daffy was on stage and there were a bunch of monsters, and he had a special perfume that he can spray in his mouth that can sing really good, and he sang in front of monsters. And Mel Blanc did pretty good with that.
Okay. Cool. And more of your opinion, Christian, or is that it?
That's it.
All right, Fresh.
Yeah. What was interesting to me was when I first. I mean, not really first. Like when you learn. Yeah. When you learn the first time about like how the voice came to be, because at first it sounded really kind of like a little bit dopey sounding for a little bit, because Daffy's supposed to be like the Loon and Looney Tunes as a whole. Because if you like go back to how he first started to where Mel eventually like had him sound to be, because at first he didn't really have a lisp, because when he did, he kind of based it off of the lisp is based off of the voice of Leon Schlesinger, who was part of like Warner Brothers like at the time. And well, it's just awesome to know like where you start out to be. And some of his best moments, of course, for Rabbit Season, Duck and Muck, of course. And what else? Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, with that epic piano scene with him versus Donald Duck.
Yep.
Very cool. And of course, as Billy Madison would say, that's quacktastic. He always wants to see a blue duck. Will he ever see that blue duck? We don't know. All right. Next up, you, Christian.
D. Riley Baker, who first voiced him in the Space Jam movie.
All right. And go ahead.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, hearing D. Riley Baker, yeah, he did really solid. I mean, he's like one of the regular Daffy Ducks I like, and very almost close to a little bit Jeff Bird and mixed with Mel Blanc. And yeah, D actually nailed it. It's like one of my favorite Daffy Ducks. And in this version of him, he's just out there like, oh, we should have this thing called the Ducks. And he got attacked by a dog. And he is like, yeah, very funny. Let's all laugh at the dog. But yeah, D really nailed it.
I agree. The movie was spectacular. D. Bradley Baker's performances, both, Daffy and Taz, was like awesome as a whole. And to the voice, because I know he played him later on. The voice just reminds me of Kevin from SpongeBob with the lisp, if you hear it.
Oh my god! Like, I can hear it now.
Well, not really, but if I hear it again, it might hurt.
And of course, another time that I got to see D. Bradley Baker play Daffy was like the show Wabbits. And yeah, again, this whatever comes up with D. Bradley Baker and Daffy, he does always great. And yeah, and you, Fresh?
Oh yeah, plain and simple, he's my second best one.
Good. All right, and of course, go ahead, Christian.
Hey.
Oh wait, we did. Yeah.
I mean, crap. I forgot we're not doing that. Just put amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that camera. All right, good, Frisch.
Okay, yes, Joel Lasky.
Okay.
So like similar to like Bugs and other different characters, his take on them is just nothing short of awesome because he's just that dedicated to them. And well, Dappy is no different because I first grew up with him with Looney Tunes back in action, and like seeing him in other different stuff like uh, Bah Humdug, Looney Tunes Christmas, and Tweety's High Flying Adventure. Just it's just really so amazing that it's just like unspeakable because
Didn't
what else
he
did I
also
say?
play him in Duck Dodgers?
Well, yeah, the Duck Dodgers show. But I was just saying from my part about like what I've like grown up with, like seeing
Uh,
from my.
Gotcha, but no, yeah, I've seen it. It's like, yeah, just great with any of the Looney Tunes characters because it reminds me of a video I saw years ago. Was like, he, him like basically interviewed the voices he does like from many shows, and yeah, and before he became a full-on voice actor, I know he did comedy back then. And what's so cool is like with Daffy Duck is that he got to play like Plucky Duck, from Tiny Toons.
Like yes,
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta say, Joel Esque did really good with both Daffy and Bugs, just anything like that. And you, Christian?
Yeah, Joe Lesky, like, of course, wasn't way long ago before back in action, but I must say, the way he wasn't like being egotistical and like he think he's better than everyone, but many other variations. Yeah, he's like one of my top favorites, and yeah, nothing could beat Joe. Well, of course, there are some that could beat him, but I still like Alasky right here.
All right, yeah. This, of course, first.
But yeah, well, he's my top favorite one. So, and yes, of course, even though Mel Blanc, he's the one that started it all when it comes to voice acting and Looney Tunes as a whole. But while his top known best role would have to be Bugs Bunny, for me, like Joel Lasky, he's just the best Daffy. I guess you
I
could say.
mean, his impressions are so good, especially when he took over for what was it, Lou Pickles.
Yes.
All right, next one. Go take this back to preschool, everyone. Yeah, with Baby Looney Tunes, Samuel Vincent. Yeah, back in the day when Boomerang would air like episodes of Baby Looney Tunes, it was really cool. But what was really cool is like, yeah, the voice of Double D was taking like many roles, like Baby Bugs, Baby Daffy, Baby Tweety Bird. It's just amazing how he could range from like those kind of voices.
Very.
But yeah, with his Daffy, what else can you say? He just matches like Daffy's personality as a child in every way. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say from my side. And you first?
In fact, I've been thinking like before like the stream started, like his Daffy is just so good that even though he did play him as a toddler, I actually think like for some weird reason, Baby Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, and Taz, their voices they're kind of like much like they're almost like a little bit so good to just actually be their adult selves because like all the other babies they wouldn't really kind of like match their older versions, but it's just something about that that's just so good that's like it can go either or. It's kind of like the same way how Casey Kasem voiced was the only one to reprise as like Shaggy in A Pup Named Scooby Doo.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah, but of course, those are good valid points. Yes, if Samuel gets the chance of playing like adult Daffy Duck in the future, I would definitely see it. And Christian, do you have an opinion or no?
Well, even though I barely watched the show, I do, of course, remember one clip I saw where Daffy was playing with his memory game and he tried to remember what the pattern was, but he pressed the wrong thing and he actually swore.
Yeah,
Uh,
those were the best ones.
because he learned that bad word from a garbage man.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. But yeah, just because it was childhood, I just put him in quacktastic. All right, Christian, go ahead.
All right. How about the modern voice for Daffy, Eric Bauza?
Well, technically, him and Jeff Bergman are the current voices. If you see their pages, it says present.
Well, that's true, but still.
All right, go ahead.
Really? Because
Okay, so of course, Mel
I mean,
Blanc taking what?
What happened?
no, I didn't say anything.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, Eric Bauza has taken almost every Looney Tunes character right now, like for Bugs, Daffy, Taz, you name it. Like he's just really something. The fact that he's taking the mantle along with Jeff Bergman, taking the mantle of Mel Blanc. Eric Bauza is just one great guy. Like, and also, he's a big Daffy fan, and I don't know if he had a dream of voice Daffy or Bugs at the same time, but he did get his dream nonetheless.
I mean, he did say that one time. Like,
Yeah, I remember. I remember this video where he was recording episodes for his version of the Looney Tunes show, and basically he was explaining when he was like a kid or something that he had this Bugs Bunny shirt on and everything, and he was basically giving himself saying if you went back to the past, and I was saying to my younger self, I was like, you're gonna be the new voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. He's like, whatever, Doc, and everything else. Let's continue from this. With my opinion with Eric Bauza, surprisingly, when I heard his versions, I was like, you know what? Yeah, he did really great with try to sound like any other ones like Daffy Duck for that matter, and he did prove his points. And to anyone else?
That's it.
well, of course, he's one of the top players in the Looney Tunes franchise as a whole, and one of some of my best moments would have to be a little bit from Space Jam 2. No, I mean, even though it may be a little bit mixed, but still, there's some good stuff here and there. But just nothing short of awesomeness. And a little side notes, even though you did say Jeff Bergman is also present, it doesn't really say anything. Like the last time we played him was in 2018.
You searching that in his wiki, correct?
Well, yeah.
Those are not very accurate, though. To be fair.
Right. Well, I'm nobody could get anything accurate at this point because come on, they're just being lazy about it.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, speaking of which, now presenting Michael Jordan.
Hey man, that's Michael B. Jordan.
Ah man. All right, but going back, Christian, what would you put Eric?
Of course, Quacktastic.
All right, go ahead first.
Yeah, Bill Farmer.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, in Robot Chicken, where it's a sketch of the parody, a parody scene from the movie 8 Mile, starring Eminem, where he voiced both Bugs and Daffy, and he played them wonderfully, especially with Daffy because he's just basically just using his Sylvester voice from Space Jam 1, and well, it's good fits, and it's ironic because even though Daffy and Sylvester both have lisps, Sylvester's a little bit much more sloppier sounding, so it kind of sounds a little bit close to Sylvester, but it's still an awesome take.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Oh yeah, recently because I saw your episode with Quentin Flynn. I was shocked that he played Elmer Fudd in that one.
Oh, it was it took me a while to realize it, but it was I thought it was freaking Bill Farmer. Wow, holy crap! I mean,
I thought
Bill,
that was Seth Green to voice Elmer because I already know about him and Bugs and Daffy Boy. And when you posted about Quentin Flynn, I was like, oh damn, that's actually really good.
it is.
Yeah. And going from your opinion with both Daffy and Bugs, do you think that someday you could play him for real, for real?
Of course.
All right, cool, cool, cool. And where would you put Bill?
Amazing.
Alrighty then.
Oh God.
What happened?
I heard a static. Was that from you?
I don't know. Was it?
I don't know. It sounds like a static. I heard it from my side.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to say, Jeff Bergman. Yes, starting off with when I first got introduced to his Daffy in the Looney Tunes show. Everything about his Daffy is like the vibe of like any shows or like movies, but way more hammier and it's like seeing more Daffy's point of view of like his adventures and anything like that. And let's see here. You Christian?
Now, as much as I like Jeff Burnett as Daffy because he does great as his voice, but this version of Daffy is a big mix. Sure, he has his funny moments that you could laugh, but there are moments that you can hate him because of his personality. Like he could be a bad friend, and he could just be a bad person in general. He's just a dick.
I mean, that's his Daffy's character, regardless in any media.
Well, you're not wrong, but in this one, he's really annoying and obnoxious, and he's also not the brightest bulb.
Hey, but I'll tell you something. You know what this Daffy's done, but the other Daffys haven't yet?
What?
Get a girlfriend?
Exactly, Fresh.
Oh, good point. Well, technically he did, because there's a female, like a love interest, like where he's like a not like a detective, but he's like a trench coat and stuff. So he kind of had that kind of woman. So that technically counts, but I still prefer Tina Russo.
Of course, yeah. And what do you call it? You Fresh?
Well, Daffy is traditionally known to just be, of course, like hungry for attention and fame, and just the Looney Tunes show just took it like a whole different other level, where you just make him much more idiotic and much more unlikable, and that's kind of a little bit controversial because, well, it's almost kind of like bad flanderization, of course, and it is funny. It's funny because when you think of the show, the first character that comes to mind is Daffy, of course, because about what they did to him. But nevertheless, Jeff Bergman is always perfect, and he just played him just like he gave us all to this to this incarnation that I might say.
Awesome. All right,
Also
then.
a part of Mel Blanc for that matter.
Of course, like because I do believe, like his Jeff Bergman's first job in voice acting, like from learning from Mel Blanc, was like with the Jetsons movie.
Oh.
Yeah, because while they were we call it filming the movie, of course, sadly both Mel Blanc and the original voice of George Jetson sadly passed away. So like Jeff Bergman had to take over.
But that's like whatever works to just keep it on going.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would put Jeff Bergman on Quacktastic. All right, Christian, go ahead.
Okay, what else is there? Oh, Billy West.
All right, and Fresh, would you like to explain which media he played him in?
Okay, well, I really kind of like haven't heard from any of his versions of Daffy Duck, but I haven't heard from this one time, and I know that voice. He was just explaining about like some phone contest about who can sound like Mel Blanc, and he was just doing voices of Porky, Daffy, and Bugs. But his Daffy, like it's really great. It's really good. It kind of like reminds me a little bit of Bill Farmer's interpretation, but it's actually really, really spot on.
Uh, as I'm going back to the clips, he also played him in Historia, and what do you call it? I'm listening to the clip. I was like, it's like his Stimpy voice with a lisp.
Hysteria,
Really?
but yeah, that's good to know.
Stereo? No, Stimpy. Like his
No, no,
character.
no, no. You said Historia.
What's it? Oh, okay, my fault, my fault. But yeah, I was just pointing that out. Oh, okay. But anyways, Christian, from hearing our opinions, where'd you put Billy West?
I'll put amazing.
All right. All right, fresh.
I haven't heard from any of the other guys.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna check something real quick. Just give me a second. Okay, now I found it. All right, I'm gonna go with what was it? Bob Bergen. So what do you call it? Back in 1987, there was this what do you call it? ABC Family Fun Fair, where Bob Bergen, who's normally known for playing Porky or Tweety Bird, he got to play characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Slimer.
I think I kind of like heard that before, or was that somebody else? I think that was probably Bill Farmer, but that's good to hear.
Well, yeah. Bill Farmer was also here because he reprises his role as Sylvester, but he also got to play Scooby Doo and Beetlejuice.
Yes, exactly. Right here.
Yeah. And when I was hearing these voices, because because it was suit actors and them providing the voices, honestly, he did really good from Daffy and Bugs, for that matter.
I can hear myself.
So yeah, even though like it was only one time, I'll just put him in good. He's good point. And just to help you guys, the next one is Keith Scott, the second guy. So he played Daffy Duck in other media commercials, anything like that. And what do you call it? He's like one of those people that could do really, really good impressions of any cartoon character, not just with Looney Tunes, just with anything else of that matter.
Ooh.
Yeah, like he played characters like Bullwinkle, Popeye. Let's see, checking back. Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble, Yogi Bear, George Jetson, Huckleberry Hound, Scooby Doo. Really does really good impressions.
Awesome.
So yeah, I would put him also in good.
All right.
With Greg Burstein. Yeah, recipes to him. Oh, sorry. I know he played him in other media. I believe one of the times he did got to play him was Tiny Toons.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a little bit of his version. It's pretty good, yeah. I only heard it one time, but from opinion wise, I just put him in good as well. All right. That was the Duck ranking, and we'll be seeing you all next time. Bye bye.
Okay, was that intentional, or did you actually meant to do that?
I meant to do that because of my profile.
Yeah. Daffy Dork, Daffy Dork, Daffy Dork.
You still did apologize to me, Daffy. I apologize a lot of times.